This is Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Oh, yes, you betcha. It's me, Sam Roberts here. And this is the, what is it called? Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure. I guess everybody needs a catchy title or whatever that is. It's the Comic-Con show. The show that chronicles the time that Jim Norton and I had at the San Diego Comic-Con just last weekend. Comic-Con is just a wonderful place to be. Jim and I were there last year, and even though, if you don't remember, look it up on YouTube or something, but if you do, it was a disaster in terms of getting interviews and finding out where to be and everything. It was a disastrous trip, but being at Comic-Con itself was a magical experience, so magical that we insisted, Jim and I, on going back for another year, and that's what we did. We were there live in person for the 2011 San Diego International Comic Convention. A lot of people from Sirius were there this year, but guess what? It was just Jim and me from the virus, so that's what you're stuck with on the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure. It's not just comic books anymore, folks. You probably already know this, but it's everything pop culture. They have movies and TV and video games and toys and a few comic books. Everything your little heart would ever desire in the pop culture world. And now big celebrities come to these things and do panels and talk to the press. I mean, it's almost become a giant press junket more than, you know, a comic book convention. But it's everything all rolled into one. It's a huge event. And Jim and I got to speak to many of those big stars and many of those fans. You'll hear all that on this Comic-Con Adventure show, whatever it's called. We'll start with an interview that Jim got to do. As I said, people come from miles around to promote their movies and their television shows. Community is one of the hottest shows on NBC right now. Joel Mchale is the star. He's been on the show before. I'd like to say he's a friend of the show. In his heart, I know he's a friend of the show. But it's been a long time since any of us heard from Joel Mchale. We got to catch up with him at Comic-Con this year, and Jim Norton sat down. Ken Jeong happened to be in the room doing an interview with somebody else while Norton was interviewing Joel. So keep your little ears open for that. This is our Comic-Con show.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Well, we're sitting here with Joel Mchale from Community. Congratulations, man, on how huge the show is.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you for coming all this way. And I'm so glad this is my... I go on Opie and Anthony like every other month now.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. No, it's fine, dude. Look, I have a question about the way they shoot Community, because a lot of times I'm in the gym and I'll see, is it shot differently than most shows? Because the quality of the video looks really, like, it's really different than anything else. Or am I just, for some reason, seeing that differently?
You're absolutely right. There was a conscious decision when the series first started to not look like a lot of the comedies on TV, which a lot of comedies now are shot documentary style, handheld, real light, and they use a lot of confessionals, and it's that mockumentary thing, and we did not want to do that and to make ourselves look separate from those, and they wanted to be cinematic. So you're right. So they wanted to look more like a movie than a documentary.
Are you do you do stand up as well?
I do, yes.
Did you start as a stand-up, or did you start doing stand-up once you began to do well?
Stand-up after the Soup started. I started about 3 years ago, and because my agent said you could make a lot of money. Yeah. And I was like, really? Let's go do that. So it's been a trial by fire, and I don't know, you know, when you have to go up 1,000 times before, before jokes start working.
But you're used to it, though, because from doing the Soup, you're talking about things that are going on. It's all topical stuff. It's like, so you probably are pretty good at writing topical material.
Yes. There was a lot of wiener jokes when a month ago. But yeah, the Soup was a strange, not exact perfect training ground for stand-up, but it's just me telling jokes for 22 minutes every week. So yeah, it really, really helped.
Do you go up a lot? I mean, do you try to go up a few times a week and do the stand-up?
I try to go up, but with when now the community's shooting again, we have really long hours, and I got 2 kids, and I do write jokes, but so if I know I'm going to be telling some new jokes, I'll try to go up and tell them. I'll see how badly they bomb. But I was in a weird situation because people were already watching The Soup, and that's when I kind of started. So I didn't have to do what... I don't have to, prove myself the way that real comics have had to. So
you still have to be funny, though. I mean, they'll give you the first 5 minutes, but anything after that, they're not going to give you.
Yeah, I think Charlie Sheen's show demonstrated that in Detroit. So, but yeah, no, it was now. I mean, now I'm much more comfortable doing it. But as you know, there's no safety net out there.
No, and I think that's what I like about it. And as opposed to acting, and to me, acting is harder because I can't acknowledge when something is going wrong when I'm acting. When I'm doing stand-up, I can really just blow it up if I'm bombing. But when you're acting and you're bombing, it's horrendous.
Yes. Thank God for editing. And I mean, you've seen Chevy Chase. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I it's funny because I love the acting so much, and it's what I as sometimes not good. I mean, I'm comfortable doing it. I love doing it. So, it's one of those things where, thank God Community's coming back for a third season. And
you were a trained actor before you did The Soup? Did you come up acting, or did you start acting after?
I came up acting. I went to graduate school for it. And when you have a degree, that means you're really good. That was what I really pursued. And when I came here, that's what I came to do. But I took The Soup because of Greg Kinnear, the pedigree of that, and the people that had done that and then gone on to do acting. That's why I did it, because I could not get into those audition rooms to get, for parts that I wanted, or for being like a series regular. I couldn't even get into those rooms. So I figured The Soup was, The Soup became like a half an hour audition tape in a weird way, and obviously, I mean, I love doing the show, but people began to go like, oh yeah, bring that guy in for that thing. So it really worked out. Well,
Kinnear's a great actor. I mean, what did he do with Cuba Gooding and Jack Nicholson? As Good as It Gets, I think. And what else has he done? Like, what was his first breakthrough role? People were like, wow, this guy can really act.
Sabrina with Harrison Ford and what's her name, Julie. I would kill me if I didn't. But that was the first. He got that big role in that, and then he was. Did you see? It was the one with Mark Wahlberg about the Philadelphia Eagles. He played Dick Vermeil.
No, my friend Dove is in that, and I'm so passive-aggressive. I won't watch a guy on my level who does a movie, so I didn't watch it.
Oh, I understand that. It's really good, but even his Dick Vermeil was incredible. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's doing a Dick Vermeil. It wasn't an impression. Like, he can even do that. But he's worked like consistently now for like 20 years in the movies. So,
do you like being a comic? I mean, I guess you enjoy it because it's good you do the panel and stuff like that. But is this a culture that you're comfortable with, the way people are here? Or did you have to kind of get used to it?
Oh no, I mean it's a weird thing to go somewhere and have people tell you all day long that you're great.
I said right, but this is what a phony. I said right like I experienced that. I imagine that would be irritating.
Oh, you're great. This is why I'm here to tell you. No, but it is this thing where you. It's weird. But people talk about, I gotta go to Comic-Con. I'm like, you have to go be adored? Right. And, okay, good. I'm sorry that you have to go through that. It's one of those, like the last year was, really surprising because they were like, we walked in, they're like, okay, there's 2,000 people out there. We're like, oh, geez, okay. But their response was, and it raised this huge ego stroke. So, but I think with all the people in the costumes, it's really fun atmosphere. And, it's great. I know that people have been like, it's just turned into a huge Hollywood junket, which it kind of, I guess, has. But,
where else can you see the cast of a show or a film and you get to talk to them? I mean, there's nowhere else you can do that.
No. I mean, Spielberg was here yesterday, and
he was a tough one to get.
How was his interview?
I wouldn't know. We didn't get one.
I'm sorry. But Peter Jackson, did you?
We turned him down.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done that, but he seems great. But yeah, have you been here before?
Yeah, I was here last year with Sirius, and we came back this year. I had a lot of fun.
Nice. All over the place.
A little bit, but an average amount, the same as New York. Nothing spectacular. As much as I'd like.
Yeah, it's a great place for. I mean, everything. I mean, it's just a great. I mean, yeah, you said like you can see the casts of everything, and you see all the like. I want to see Cowboys and Aliens. So I hope I can sneak in.
Daniel Craig was at Anthony's house. He hung out with Anthony. Went to a gun range. He was over Anthony's house, and we want to go to the premiere tonight just to establish the fact that he does not remember Anthony. We're hoping that he just is like, who?
Good idea. And he has the eyes of a wolf, if you look at his eyes.
I always...
Distracted by them all the time.
Really? Anthony said he's a beautiful guy. Like, he's a really handsome dude.
Yeah, I'm happy to admit that. Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Has your stand-up, do you think, helped with panel because you're in front of 3,000 people? Are you kind of like the go-to guy? I mean, Chevy's obviously very experienced with stuff like that. But are the other cast members as comfortable?
Oh, you'll see if you're there. Oh, yeah. I mean, Ken Jeong. If you turn a light on Ken Jeong, and, of course, Donald and Danny. I mean, Donald's, his hip-hop career is exploding, so he's been in front of thousands and thousands of people. But when you get Danny and Donald going, and it's terrific. And now we have Jim Rash, who plays the dean, and he's also the bald guy. He's amazing. So
was he a stand-up? I think he was a stand-up, right? He's doing a really weird character.
Yeah, he was a stand-up, and that's when he was a doctor at Kaiser Permanente, and he was miserable doing his day job of being a doctor. And then he was doing stand-up at night, and then he got knocked up, and he finally knocked up the movie, and then he finally was able to kind of say goodbye to being a doctor. And he'll tell you how much happier he was. Pretty miserable being a doctor.
You know what's funny? I thought he used to do a character named Dr. Ken or something. Someone said he would kill, because a lot of comics have trouble in black rooms. They're tough audiences sometimes, but they said he would go in and do this Dr. Ken character and destroy the room. I guess that was him.
Yeah. I mean, he is like Rumpelstiltskin in that he can spin. He sees the room, he'll like adapt to the situation, and he can just invent comedy out of nothing.
What kind of doctor was he?
I think he was a general practitioner. I mean, he was just he was like a family doctor, I believe, I think.
Amazing what people walk away from to do entertainment.
Yeah. People are like, oh, you were helping people become healthy, and now you're just a silly person with your penis out. And he's like, yes, but he's helping people. But no, he diagnoses people on set. Joe Russo, one of our executive producers, Joe was having leg pain, and the studio nurse showed up and basically was like, this is clearly a circulation problem. She called it some horrible disorder. She's like, you should go to the emergency room right now. And Joe started getting freaked out. And I was like, Ken went and examined his legs, and Ken started asking him all these questions, and he's like, yeah, you have sore muscles. You have you overexerted yourself. Clearly, he found out what he was like. Oh, you did like strenuous like work on the house 2 days ago. Yeah, your legs are really sore. Maybe a pulled muscle. But
it's ballsy though, because if he's wrong and if he really did need to go to the hospital, there's a certain amount of balls to a doctor, like a courage that to tell people like, nah, you don't need to go to the hospital, because there is a risk they could drop dead.
Yeah, I guess you could sue him, but not for malpractice. It was just like a guy told you one thing and you took his advice.
Was he still allowed to practice medicine, or does that like run out?
No, you have to keep that up, and I don't think he has. But
he probably could if he wanted to.
He could. Oh, definitely. And he has that thing where you can see him switch and become a doctor. Like if someone gets hurt, you can see him immediately. He's like a superhero changing, and he will be like, oh, you can see he immediately is, doing all the things that is. It's kind of awesome to see. Him right there.
I'm looking at him, and from the side, he kind of has hair like Alan Alda and MASH.
Yes, he does have Alan Alda hair.
Yeah, what's up, Ken?
We're just talking about you, Ken.
I'm always amazed by what people will give up to come here and do this.
Something he always wanted to do, and he doing his residency at UCLA and stuff was not, wasn't a coincidence. I think because he knew in the back of his mind he was going to try to be an actor. And Ken, I just want to show you. We were just gushing about you.
No, we're just talking about
something really crazy.
Yeah, I know. Look at the hands. Oh, you got it. Look how small the hands are.
Wow, you do have small hands.
I have very small hands.
I didn't know you were a doctor. Joel just told me you were a doctor at one point.
I was a practicing physician.
Joe, remember he had sore legs, and
Joe Russo had sore legs, and he was convinced that he had like a blood clot like deep in his leg. It was a pulled hammy. Like that's what I love about Joe Russo. He
the nurse was like, it might be a clot. You should go to the.
It wasn't Joe. You're right. It was a nurse.
Freaked him out.
I don't want to freak me out too. And then and I actually examined him in my trailer. Just me and Joe Russo in my trailer, palpating his legs and like stroking up and down on his thighs, and I'm telling him like, no, he just pulled a hamstring. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't Joe. It was the medic. The nurse said that. That's so funny.
Imagine if you just gone to the emergency room. I got a blood clot. And they're like, you're fine.
You got to go straight to the hospital, get a blood thinner, stat. So it's a huge effing deal. Yeah.
You weren't afraid that you might give the wrong diagnosis, and when he should go to the hospital, he didn't?
Good Samaritan law. If I get sued, I did the best I could.
Good seeing you, brother.
Great seeing you, man. I love you, Rory.
Thank you, Ken. Oh, one more question. You did the Dr. Ken character on stage, right?
Yeah. I stand up when I did stand up comedy. I was Dr. Ken, like Patrice O'Neill. I met him like on the comedy club circuit, and I did BET Comic View like 3 years in a row. I was known for that, so it was great, man. I mean, all the instincts I'm doing right now as an actor is because of you have to cut your teeth doing stand-up to survive and have the instincts you need to survive a stage. Yeah, it's all I love. I'm really proud of my stand-up.
Owning your performance on Community.
Yeah, that's due to self-medication.
A lot like Chevy. This is great. Okay, I see.
Good seeing you, buddy. Good seeing you, Ken. Yes. Okay, sure. Talk about what? Oh my God, I totally forgot. Wanted to ask you too. One of my favorite people. Now, is this true? Michael K. Williams has joined Community?
Yes, he is. He is the new teacher, the new class. We're going to biology class now. He is our teacher. He's an ex-con, and so it's it's so great. I mean, the fact that he is doing it. I was so that he agreed to it. I was like, he's doing it, so it's great. And wait till you see him. I read what he's going to be doing in the first few scripts, and it's hilarious.
Had you seen The Wire?
I have The Wire on DVD and have watched them backwards and forwards.
Oh, you know the show then? Okay.
That's a great show. And not nominated, ever.
We've interviewed all those guys, and it's amazing. I think they got one writing nomination in season 5, but it's amazing that Michael K. Williams or any of those, Bunk or Jamie Hector, never nominated for an acting award, or Bubs even.
It is a crime. It should have gotten a Peabody for the things they were doing. So yeah, show you Peabody, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those series that it's like when like something like The Shawshank Redemption, it got nominated for Best Picture, and then nothing happened. But then if you look on top 10 lists, it's on or like Back to the Future, it's on everyone's top 10 list. And then you get these movies that like when Raging Bull lost to
Ordinary People.
When was the last time you saw someone go like, "Oh, Ordinary People's on. I'm just going to watch the rest of it." Not saying it's a bad movie, but it's one of those things that it will live long forever because of how good it is, and I don't think anyone will. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's going to live forever as one of the best series ever made.
But they're telling us we have to wrap. Joel Mchale, it was good talking to you, man. You're a funny guy. You're a huge star now.
Come into the studio in mid-August when I'm there to promote a movie.
We'd love to have you. Thank you, buddy.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Thank you, Joel Mchale. Jim Norton, I'm Sam Roberts, and this is the Virus Comic-Con wrap-up, the Comic-Con Adventure. I don't remember what the name of the show is, but I'm sure it said it in production. We're just chronicling the adventure that Jim Norton and myself, Sam Roberts, had while we were at San Diego for Comic-Con just last weekend. Wilfred is another giant show. We just heard from Joel Mchale from Community. Wilfred is a show, it's Elijah Wood's new show, and it's on FX. You hear about it all the time. Everybody's talking about it because it's very weird. It involves Elijah Wood being friends with a guy in a dog suit, but everybody sees it as a dog, but Elijah sees it as a guy in a suit. It's a very strange show, but for some reason it works. A lot of people love it, and that was no different than Comic-Con. We talked to the cast of Wilfred, including the guy who plays Wilfred, including Elijah Wood, including one of the lovely females from the show. I got to talk to each of them for a few minutes, and this is what it sounded like.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
We're here at Comic-Con with Elijah Wood. Elijah, what's the haps?
No, Comic-Con, yet again. I was here last year. I've been here many times.
Is it difficult to promote a show like Wilfred at Comic-Con when there's 100,000 Lord of the Ring fans downstairs, scurrying about the floor?
Not really. It's sort of a perfect place to promote the show. I mean, the great thing about Comic-Con is everyone that's here, they're so pumped for any kind of content, and you know, a lot of people are obviously coming here for the specific things that they're fans of, but there's also a lot of just general excitement for what they're being shown in any capacity. So it's always a great audience to show people new things to, because they're very receptive to it.
Especially different things, because Wilfred is a very different show. Was it nerve-wracking to do this show, because it's so different? I mean, you're a movie star. You've got a career. It's not like, you know, you're a first-timer here. You have a career to worry about, and you're doing this show that's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been very well received, I think, so far. You know, I love it. A lot of people get it. But was there part of you that was like, uh-oh, what if people don't get this?
I don't know, man. I loved the show so much that regardless of whether people got it or not, I knew it was something I believed in creatively.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely unique. It's unlike anything I've seen on television. It has this really interesting, weird balance between being very funny, but yet there's something kind of very real happening to these characters. It's ultimately about a character who's in recovery, so at the very heart of it, there's something kind of screwed up with him, which is why Wilfred exists in the first place. So it was exciting to be a part of it, and whether or not people got it, I mean, we were hopeful, but I never really felt the sense that it was a risk. I think we all knew it was a risk, but it was something that we were willing to take because we thought it was interesting and different, which is what, you know, it's always what I'm looking for. I think I'm always just looking for something that's very different from anything I've worked on.
And it's nice that there are cable outlets doing shows like this now. Like USA's doing a lot of shows. FX, obviously, is doing a lot of these comedies that you don't really see on network TV.
No, and the fact that FX were the network behind it, too, you know, I knew intrinsically that we'd have the creative freedom to make the kind of show that we wanted to make, which we wouldn't necessarily be able to find on a regular, like, primetime network, you know.
Years ago, I saw a show on MTV that you were on. I don't even remember what show it was, but you were in some movie store obsessing over looking for DVDs and stuff.
Okay.
And it just struck me because you were obsessed with movies.
Yeah.
Are you worried that DVDs are going by the wayside, that everything's going digital?
I don't know if it's so much worried. I think it's an inevitability.
But does that, like, do you like that?
Bum me out?
Yeah,
you know what bums me out is the video store experience.
Yeah. That's what you're doing, like searching through all the.
And that is what's sad, and it's the same thing that's starting to happen with CD stores falling to the wayside.
Yeah.
However, record stores are becoming very popular now with vinyl, but. You know, there's a great store in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you know it. There's this place called I Love Video, and it's an amazing store. They also have a place called Vulcan Video, I think, as well. And they're great stores. They're the kind of places that you can go in, and you'll have that personal experience with the people that work there because they're knowledgeable and they're fans of film and they can recommend things to you. That's an amazing experience.
And they just got an amazing commercial.
And they did. You can't replicate that with the digital medium. That is the one thing that's going to be missed, I think.
You did the Opie and Anthony show on Sirius XM not too long ago. Do you have any idea who Jim Norton is? Because he's hoping you do, but I seriously doubt that you do. If you don't lie.
I don't know Jim Norton.
Yes.
Who is Jim? Why?
He's a host of the show. He's a comedian who's on the show, and he sat right next to you.
The guy right next to me. Okay. Yes.
No, you don't know.
I do.
Just not by name.
He was I don't know him by name. I'm sorry, Jim. I'm so sorry. I was doing a lot of interviews.
No, I know.
At that time. I did. Sometimes remember people's names.
Trust me, no.
A lot of people.
No is the right answer in this.
But that's unfair. I see that you were wanting a no.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
It's Jason Gann from Wilfred. You were part of this show in Australia. Bring it to the United States of America. Was that a risk, do you think? Because it's a very different show.
Definitely. Before the first day of shooting, I'm sitting in my trailer and I'm like, what have I done? You know, like, am I about to make a fool of myself in front of the whole world? You know, it's one thing doing it to a cult following in Australia, but so it's always a risk, and it's a risk for everyone involved in the show. Me, I guess, a little bit more because I'm in the suit.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm incredibly proud of the show, and I'm a Wilfred fan. So I mean, after I've shot it and I'm watching it, I think every now and then, that's me.
Yeah,
but
you're just cracking up at yourself.
I do,
That's a funny guy.
I don't laugh at many things, and I know if I'm laughing at me, then I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. You brought this costume to life. You're walking around in a dog costume. We're at Comic-Con. would it be a dream come true to see like little Wilfreds walking around? Have you seen any?
You haven't seen them?
I haven't seen any dog costumes yet.
I was told there's 95 of them.
90, they counted.
I've had, there's 95 of them together. I had a photo with them.
Really?
And I was originally told there's going to be 100.
But there was.
And I said, I'm not coming out until there's 100.
Did you bring the suit?
No.
But, I mean, there's 95 and one of you.
Their suits are better than mine.
Really?
Yeah. But I think that should be the case, you know. Like, whenever you got a Superman, whenever kids are dressed as Superman, then you got to have a crappy suit, you know. It's got to have, like, baggy underpants that go on the outside of, like...
No muscle definition.
Yeah, and so I think that because Wilfred's charm is his bad suit, that any imposter suits should be really nice and fluffy and cute, and they are.
So let that be a lesson to all you Wilfred imposters. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
We're here with Fiona Goobleman.
Goobleman, yeah, it's a tongue twister.
From Wilfred. Now, Fiona, a name like Goobleman, kids growing up would make fun of.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like you're good looking enough that you could pull it off. Is that kind of how it went down?
You know, Goobleman is, my whole life I definitely got teased. And, but I don't know, what can you do? It's your name. And I would just laugh it off. And now some of my favorite nicknames, I still get called from my last name. And people, when I first started acting, were like, oh, you should change your name. You should change your name. It's weird and this. And I was like, no way. It's hilarious. Yeah. And I've actually, I swear, booked jobs because I walk in and they're like, Goobleman? From like, right?
Well, they're not going to forget.
You know, yeah, and you can't forget that name. And
well, look, it's like people teased you, people said you should change your name, and now you're on a hit show.
Hey,
so
you know what? You can make it with a name like Goobleman.
Yeah, obviously. So Wilfred, when you first got the job and you started, really figuring out what it was, were you like, what is this show?
Yeah, well, when I first got the script, I read it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny, it's so witty, I love it. But what's going on with this dog guy in the suit? What? I did not get it. And then I went that night and watched some clips from the Australian version, and I was like, oh my god, this is genius. This is amazing. And so I went back and reread the script. So I read it twice before my first audition, and I just loved it so much that I was like, I have to be a part of this show, and I think my excitement just paved the way.
Any nerves based on, like you said, you saw the script and you were like, what is this show? Like, this is weird. Yeah. Were you nervous that people would see the commercials and be like, I'm not going to watch this?
I thought our advertising campaign for Wilfred was genius. I thought they did such an incredible job. I loved all the spots we shot, because it wasn't clips from the show. It was just these random, funny little things where you're like, what is that?
Look, I was watching American Idol, and I saw Elijah Wood sitting next to a guy in a dog suit, and I was like, I have to figure out what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it was actually very smart of them, very clever to do that, because they were funny, and they caught people's attention, and they got them interested in knowing what it was about. Because I think it's like when I tried to explain the show to people, they're like, their face, goes from a smile to kind of like this is great for you. And so until people see it, they just I don't think they quite get it. But I think once you watch the show a few times and you really get it, then it's just...
Is it fun to do a show that's so different?
Oh my, it's amazing. I always dreamt of being on a dark comedy, and so to be on a show like that, I mean, it really is a dream come true. And I love being on something that's unique and refreshing, where I'm excited to read the scripts, and I'm like, what's going to happen next, or what great lines are going to be thrown in there. And I'll see an episode, and on the third time I catch a joke I never saw before. So that's just, it's great.
Obviously, we're here at Comic-Con. You can tell. There's a lot of wonderful people who come to Comic-Con. At the same time, there are a lot of people who may not be the most social people in the world. What's the creepiest thing that's happened to you since you've been here?
I honestly haven't had anything creepy happen to me yet.
So just this interview, then?
Yeah, I'm very, no, really. The funniest thing, though, I'll tell you, was we just came from the signing booth, and Dorian, who plays Elijah's sister on the show, she and I we're at the front of the line, and this girl kind of walked by, and we were like, oh, did you want us to sign that? And she's like, no. and then Randall's sitting right next to us. He's the director, and he's like, oh no, they're on the show. They're the female leads, and she's like, no.
I don't want it.
She wanted all the guys to sign it, and we were like, okay. So that was funny.
Well, eventually you'll be giant stars too.
And then she'll be sad. No, but it was so amazing getting to meet people that watch a show and love it, and to hear that. Like, that
does feel rewarding, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like being, because when you do theater, people are laughing, or they laugh like that. They're applauding or laughing.
Plus, you get to see all these fans and say, people, I've seen the numbers, but people really are, these are real people watching.
I don't, to see the people excited, that's the best thing.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck.
Nice to meet you. Have a great day.
You too.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
All right, it's Sam Roberts here for Jim Norton, who would be here with me, but he's far too big and too famous to host a show like this. We're chronicling our Comic-Con adventure. You just heard me talking to the cast of Wilfred, and that was also the moment where, if you can go back on my Twitter and find the picture, the screen grab, if you really want to see it, but I ended up sneaking my Weasley way into the back of a G4 shot. And apparently a lot of you watch G4, because I got a lot of Twitter comments on that, and I appreciate it. Comic-Con is not just about the celebrities you meet, though. It's about the people. The real celebrities of Comic-Con are the people that show up, the fans. And I didn't think I was capable of interviewing the fans. Jim Norton said, he said, I can't do it, Sam. I don't want to interview these people. I don't feel like I'm worthy of that. I'm not where I should be as an interviewer, and I felt the same way. We searched high and low, and we were able to find one man who was willing to interview some of the people at Comic-Con. That man is named Lyle Chipperson. Yes, Chip Chipperson on the floor of Comic-Con. And if Chip is somebody who gets under your skin, see how long you can listen to this without tapping out. To me, it's all hilarious. It's Chip Chipperson on the floor of the San Diego Comic-Con, right here on The Virus.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
I sound like a 12-year-old when I'm on camera.
That's okay. We're just interviewing people for Comic-Con. Are you having a good time or something?
I am. It's been great.
What's your name?
My name is Summer.
Summer? Oh, it's a good time of year.
It is.
Are you supposed to be Princess Leia?
Yes.
You got a boyfriend? 515. Is he, like, who is he?
He dresses up as Boba Fett.
Who?
Also from Star Wars. He dresses up as
Bob Fett?
Boba.
Oh, he was like the bounty hunter or something, right? Oh, is he? Where's Boba Fett? I like him.
He's not here today.
How come?
He had to work.
I had a chain like that one time. I was chaining my bike up with it.
Yeah, this wouldn't work for that.
No, it's too loose. I don't know what to ask. Oh, look, the guy's got like lobsters on his face or something.
Alien.
Oh. Let me ask, hey, it looks like you got like Red Lobster or something.
It's an alien face hugger.
What's that?
It's an alien face hugger from the movie Aliens.
I seen the movie Alien Abduction.
Close enough. They got your body.
That's like a ray gun or something, right?
Yeah. Fits the whole suit.
That's cool. Does it make a noise? I had a ray gun when I was a kid.
Really?
But I would always point it at the girls, make them take off their clothes and stuff and rape them.
Not a good idea.
Hi, I'm Chip. Oh, hi, what's your name? I'm Chip.
Hi, Chip.
Oh, look at you got your tie. It looks like you're going back to school or something.
No, I was just expelled from school.
I did too. Me,
We're Hogwarts harlots and we've been expelled.
Me and my friend Teddy got caught in the closet when I was a kid.
How'd that work out for you?
So we got yelled at. Where are you from or something?
We're from here, San Diego.
Oh, you from San Diego? Is this your first time at Comic-Con?
Yes, it is.
What are you? Are you supposed to be the ladies from Hogwarts?
Yeah, we're Hogwarts bad girls.
What's bad? Uh-oh.
We're too cool for school. We're too hot for school.
Yeah, I was too hot for school, too. I would put on the air conditioning.
They could use some of that in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of ugly people here. Look at that guy's hat. I hope he gets shot. I was just kidding. He likes when I say mean stuff about people.
Are you having a good time?
Yes. Oh, look at this. The person's all yellow. Looks like they fell into some lemonade or something.
Like a Power Ranger.
Oh, wow. A lot of camel toe.
I I think that's definitely a girl, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope so. Otherwise, he's got a little one.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
I'm just riffing, just joking around or something.
Please continue to move. It's a fire hazard.
Okay, we're just doing like a little interview. Are you having a good time, sir, at Comical Con?
Please, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to move aside. Thank you. Keep moving. Keep moving, folks.
I'm trying to do my interviews and jokes. There's too many cripples here. Everybody's in wheelchairs and stuff. They shouldn't let them in.
Some entertainment booth.
Tell this guy to be quiet. Because they're all in their chairs running over people's toes. They should just make them sit in the sun and bake like a bunch of raisins. And look at over there, look at the Lion's Gate. They should say, what do you see outside a lion's house? Lions. Yeah, but just keep going. I don't care. Hi, can we interview you? Wow, that's really cool. What's your name?
My name's Savannah.
It looks like you ate a bunch of blueberries or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's that supposed to be?
I'm Mystique from X-Men.
Mrs. Teague?
Mystique. Like
oh,
Mystique, yeah.
It looks like, wow, that's really cool. Is that paint?
Yes, it's body paint, yeah.
How do you get that off?
A really, really hot shower.
Oh, yeah, I take a lot of cold showers, though, because you know what I'm saying. What's your name?
I'm Leah.
Hi, are you having fun?
Yeah, I am. It's really fun here.
There's a lot of big fat people here. I hate them.
You said it, not me.
I know, it bugs me, though, and they're all fat and stuff. Don't you hate that?
No, not really, no.
That's what you should say that you're blue, because they stepped on your feet or something.
Oh, there you go, yeah, exactly.
How long did it take you to do that?
Probably like 2 hours, right? Yeah, like 2 hours.
And you just you didn't put it all over yourself, right?
Not everywhere, no.
Yeah, not, you know.
Yeah, not everywhere. But yeah.
How come you didn't dress up? You just got your shirt on.
She has squawk ears. Yeah.
I didn't even, let me see that. Oh, could you get that with the camera? It looks like you're trying to listen to something in Timbuktu or something. That's real pointy and stuff, your ears. Yeah. You should probably jab somebody right in the eye like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just take their fucking eyes out. All these fat people.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Have a good Comical Con. It's on Chippa TV on YouTube's.
Chipper TV?
CHIPPAH. Chippa.
Do you guys have like a card?
We had one, but we gave a bunch of them out because Steven Spielberg was here and Bruce Williston.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, thank you guys.
These are easy. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay, I'm Chip. What's the kind of gun is that?
It's a blaster.
And a blaster? And what do you use that for?
To kill people.
Where are you from?
Star Wars.
You from Star Wars? Is that like a place or something? I'm from Apocalypse. So I haven't heard the movie is.
What?
Well, how old are you?
21.
21? Oh, so you just started drinking?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And what's your name?
Mariah.
Hi, I'm Chippa. I like your chain or something. Is that like a real bike chain? I had one like that, and my friends used to whip me with it. Plus my back.
It's plastic.
Oh. I had a bike chain one time, and my friend Bruce took it off and was whipping my back until the police made him stop.
That sounds like it would hurt.
Yeah. Do you come with is there a bunch of guys that you like here? Because they're all dressed up as different people.
I came with a group of people.
Oh, did you guys drive or take a bus?
We drove.
Oh, we took a plane.
Yeah, I think my group's leaving though, so.
I'm sorry. Have a fun time at Comical Con. Bye-bye. It's nice talking to you. That chick wanted to fuck me so bad. She was getting all wet and sloppy.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Thank you, Chip. I mean, the Comic-Con floor was just full of individuals. I'm Sam Roberts. There were over 100,000 people at this thing. And I guess we got a handful of them. But, I mean, just everybody in a little costume. Everybody just had a great time. So you can't blame them for that. But there were more celebrities that we still have to get to. And one guy is a guy who he shows up at Comic-Con, and these are his people. I mean, he runs this place. He was called the mayor of Comic-Con by the guy who interviewed him before me. I'm not nearly clever enough to think of something like that to call him. So instead, we just reference that interview even though we have no record of it. I guess you'll hear it all. It's Bruce Campbell, the man from the Evil Dead trilogy. He was promoting Burn Notice, The Fall of Sam Axe, his Burn Notice spin-off movie, which, I mean, to be involved with that many successful projects over such a long period of time is something that doesn't happen too often in Hollywood. And to have fans that are as loyal as the Bruce Campbell fans are, well, it's a sight to behold. This is my time with Bruce Campbell from Comic-Con 2011.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Sam Roberts here with the legendary Bruce Campbell at Comic-Con.
What's going on?
Bruce, what's the haps?
The haps are Comic-Con, man. It's the beast that rolls into town. Yeah. Like locusts.
You're here promoting Burn Notice, The Fall of Sam Axe.
Yep, the tragic story, the prequel story of Sam's last mission as a real soldier.
Did you realize when you signed up for Burn Notice you'd be such a hit that you'd be getting spin-off movies?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Well, it's good to have confidence. I was also...
It's just truth.
It's not confidence?
No, it's not arrogance or confidence. When you just know, you know.
I see.
Like you today. You just know that this is going to be an amazing interview.
Is that just my vibe right now?
Yeah, you feel it. I feel it right now.
You know, you come... Part of the vibe is the way you look. You run Comic-Con pretty much. You're a god around
here. As the mayor.
Yeah, that's what I said in the last interview. You're the mayor of Comic-Con. You could come here looking like a schlub if you wanted to. But instead...
No, because that's the job of the fans.
To just come here looking like schlubs.
Yeah, no, my job is to counteract the lack of effort they put into those camouflage cargo shorts.
You are dressed to the nines. How long did it take you to pick out this ensemble?
9 minutes.
Really? No wonder you're so...
the wardrobe department from Burn Notice did it.
They costumed you for this?
It's a cool thing. It's like the old days, you know, like Clark Gable could go into MGM and go, I need an outfit for tonight, kid. And they would make him an outfit. So I'd come into the wardrobe department and say, Comic-Con.
Yeah, I need something.
2 words, Comic-Con.
Your Burn Notice has been such a hit. It's had quite a cult phenomenon. How happy are you that finally there's something that people can talk about in minutia with you that's not the Evil Dead trilogy?
Oh, it's always good. You know, if you stick around long enough, you can get involved in other stuff.
Yeah.
This came out of nowhere, and it's fun to just do a different character that doesn't have a chainsaw attached to his arm.
How have you managed to survive this long in this business?
Just don't go away. Just stay relevant in some way. I don't know.
That's the secret. Don't leave.
Don't leave. Hi, still here. Sorry, guys. Still here.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Bruce.
All right, sir. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
Thank you very much. That was Bruce Campbell. I'm Sam Roberts, and this is the chronicling of the adventure that Jim Norton and myself had at this year's San Diego Comic Convention. It doesn't stop. No, sir. It doesn't stop. The Mythbusters. You talk about science fiction. How about just science? They're a group of people who have managed to take a show that is science-based and turn it into something that is entertaining enough for a mainstream audience. I mean, Danny, our own Danny from the Opie and Anthony show, he loves the Mythbusters. Jim got to sit down with Carrie Byron as well as Grant and Tori from the show to talk about the show and also to bring up something that Danny had tweeted to Carrie Byron. When I say Danny loves the show, I mean he loves the show, but his desire, shall we say, for Carrie Byron doesn't just go beyond creepy. It sort of gets to the point where you might want to call authorities on the whole thing because you don't know how far he'll take it. He's not a guy who knows when to say when, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. And that's how he feels about Carrie Byron. This is the Mythbusters with Sir Jim Norton on our Comic-Con recap.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.
All right, so you guys are Emmy nominated. This is the first Emmy nomination?
No, this is our 3rd year in a row, and we still haven't won. We're hoping that this is our year.
Well,
everyone says, "Oh, it's so." I mean, it is nice to be nominated, but man, I'm sure it would be great to win.
Well, who is beating you?
Well, that's not a very nice question. I wouldn't say beat us. It's just it was their year. Intervention. Jamie Oliver's Food Nation, I think, won one year, but What, you don't like food? Or?
No, I think you guys should win.
Well, thank you very much. I
think you guys should win. I think it's crooked, and somebody's probably paying off other people. I think you should be winning.
I think it's just an honor to be able to wear a fancy dress.
See that, but that's why she's successful and I'm mediocre, because you say the right things. I would just go, fuck everybody else. You guys are smart and you say the right things. Is it disappointing to lose? I mean, obviously it is, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you always go in hoping to win, but you know what? The competition is really hard. There's a lot of great shows, and this year actually, Deadliest Catch is nominated, and I think they're a really strong contender.
What do you think it is that that determines, okay, we're going to give it to this show and not this show? Because you guys have been doing such original stuff for so long. I mean, you're part of the culture. Everybody knows Mythbusters. Everybody knows what it is you do. I mean, President Obama did one of your shows.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? It's usually the shows that are saving lives, getting people off of drugs or alcohol, or getting little fat kids to stop eating so much. Oh, no. Little kids who are overweight. Can we edit that? Yeah. Little kids who are overweight. Our shows about little kids who are overweight and helping them not eat unhealthy. Yeah.
Although you're right, though, saying little fat kids is not bad, because that's what it is. It's kids who are not eating healthy, and if it's helping them lose weight, it's seen as a public service, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But then again, what you guys do is also a public service. I mean, you're showing people that certain things that people think are myths are actually dangerous, and certain things that you think would be dangerous are actually not at all dangerous.
Yeah, the questions that keep people up at night, like do girls fart, and is driving sleepy more dangerous than driving drunk? Really important stuff.
Did you really do one on Do Girls Fart?
No, it actually never aired on Discovery. Maybe they thought it was too embarrassing, so it's on the internet, unfortunately. But yes, I showed up to work one day and they gave me a pair of underwear with a microphone and a hydrogen sulfide meter in the area, and it was linked to the PA system in the shop. It was quite a day.
And did they feed you a certain amount of food or a certain diet?
Well, after a while, it took a really long time. I don't know if I was nervous, but they wanted me to eat cabbage or beans or that sort of thing after a while. But I ended up producing in the end. So
what food did it?
That's our girl.
What a great way of saying that. That actually. So what food did it for you? I mean, for me, McDonald's. Bad news. Bad news.
Yeah, we're not having this conversation.
Now, do you think somebody did that as a goof, or they really thought maybe this will make the air, and it just at the end they went, eh?
You mean, are they just mean? Are they just pranking me?
Yeah, just something silly to do.
That's totally possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, I never knew it was a real mystery. Were you shocked to learn the truth?
Yeah, I was not shocked to learn the truth, but I mean, it was a full episode. It had been edited. It was incorporated into what was going to be the final show, and then last minute they pulled the plug and said, not so much, and had to re-edit the show.
Now, did you guys, when President Obama did the show, did any of you guys get to meet him?
No.
I didn't see the episode. Who was he actually there with, or was it nobody? Was he not actually in the facility?
No, Jamie and Adam actually went to the White House and did the opening to the show with him, so he didn't actually come to our set, so we didn't get to meet him.
Now, you guys come here every year. You're a pretty big feature at Comic-Con. Your panels sell out, or I should say, are full every time?
Yeah, actually, these are our people. These are the geeks. These are our fans. So we come here and they appreciate us. We really like this.
What do you like about Comic-Con? I mean, obviously, it's great to get the adoration, but what do you find here that you don't find in other places?
Well, I mean, for us, we actually get to meet our fans. We're pretty insulated. Our shop is not in Hollywood with all the celebrities. And for us, it's just, we have a basically blue-collar job. I mean, we show up every day, we get dirty, we go home at the same time. So to come out to Comic-Con and kind of realize that we're on TV and meet our fans and see the effect that we have on them is really wonderful.
What was the first time you realized, like, wow, I'm a celebrity, I'm famous, or I'm well-known by people who probably never would have known me?
I still don't see celebrity.
No, you are, though. I mean, you are. Even though your attitude doesn't make you seem like a celebrity because you're very nice and down to earth, but by definition, you are one. What was the first time you realized, like, wow, people know who I am?
When I got invited on the Opie and Anthony show, I was like, I have made it.
Is she good or what?
She really is. You're a great actress, too, because nobody thinks they're famous when they get invited on the Opie and Anthony show. That's usually the end of a career. People like, I'm on my way out the door. I would, yeah. Now, Danny, obviously, on our show. Now, what has Danny been pestering you to do? I mean, besides the obvious.
Oh, I think he actually has been on the Twitter trying to get people to get an autograph of some artwork from one of the booths, but I haven't been able to make.
Has he asked you?
Yes, but he actually would like to come visit the set. I've invited him. I said we'd give him a tour.
Yeah, that's what a horrible mistake that is. You know that, right?
Well, I gave you a tour, so I figured, we have to invite him.
But you know that I'm a nice guy. I'm not creepy. Danny's got like a creepy love for you, and he'll just lurk around and he'll quote every episode. He'll really bug you. Me and Kenny came by after we went to San Quentin.
Yeah, but you showed up in sweatpants. How creepy is that?
Fair point. You know what?
We at a strip club or something?
Well, almost. I mean, we took a tour of San Quentin. One of the guards is a fan, and they said you can't wear jeans. So I guess because it resembles too much what the convicts wear, so we have to wear sweatpants. So I wore sweatpants, and I didn't realize that would be really creepy to show up in a pair of sweats. So my apologies.
Well, I hopefully Danny will show up in like a 3-piece suit and offset all the creepiness that you brought.
And stop asking her to do stuff for you, stupid. She's busy. All right, thank you guys very much. Hey, good luck. I actually hope you win the Emmy.
Thank you.
Good seeing you again.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Comic-Con Adventure 2011.